There's a static LAPRAS encounter? Alright, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Pokemon Blaze Black 2 Randomizer Master Mode. Previously, we completed all the story stuff here in Lacanosa Town, and we also went to the west to get an encounter, which we did go ahead and do, and I just realized that there was one encounter that I did not put in, and that was my free Ho-Oh, which I'm not going to worry about it right now. I'm just going to make sure that I actually circle it on this sticky note here, because this is my sticky note that I've been taking all my notes on. Everything else, though, I got PK hexed in perfectly fine, and as you can see, we went ahead and made a couple of decisions. Now, you might be wondering, Tristan, how the hell is the Escavalier back on the team? And you, viewer, are asking a very good question. So, I don't know which episode it would have been, but there was an episode where we got ourselves a jailbreak. And I was thinking to myself of, what typings I need on the team. Do I really need a normal type on my team right now? In my head, I'm saying you don't really need a normal type ever. I mean, the nice thing with normal is that it is only weak to one typing, being fighting. And particularly why I went with the Stoutland, in this case, Benji, is because he has Intimidate, which is really, really good for us if we need to send him in to lower something stat. It's kind of the same thing, or same reason why I really, really enjoy using the Cofagrigus, because it is bulky and it can eat up hits. Benji is not necessarily one that is bulky. I mean, his defenses aren't terrible, but I mainly have him for the Intimidate and the fact that he's got a pretty good attack stat right now. So that's kind of the reason why I went with him. But the Escavalier, and why we went with Escavalier, was because it's got the one weakness to fire, which is a quad weakness, yes. But if you remember earlier on in this series, this thing was an absolute menace. And when it was taken from us, it really, really did hurt. It hurt. It really did hurt because he was really bulky. As you can see by his defenses, but not only that, his attack is insane. So I was like, why don't we put the Escavalier back on the team? I've really been wanting to use or have a Steel type, because Steel is probably one of the best typings just all around by itself, but having a Park Steel type as well makes it even better. So that's the reason why we went with those two. They're both level 55, of course, because that's where our last checkpoint level was. But I did go ahead and give the Escavalier the Lucky Egg, because I'm kind of waiting to see if we should keep Benji around or if we'll get anything better. And if we don't, Stoutland will be okay for the gym, because I did give him the Elemental Fangs. But again, Intimidate is also one of the best abilities in the entire game. So let's go ahead and spin our challenge wheel for today. Hopefully we get something friendly. Do a contest, though there's not an equivalent of doing a contest in this game. There is doing a musical, but it's not necessarily the same thing. So I think we should just respin it. Just cut all the extra BS. Ooh, the Swear Jar. Now, this one is different. I actually don't remember entirely what this entails. I don't remember. And if it would be nice if I can go to my channel and hope to God that I wrote this in the description, because this is one of the new ones. Oh, it replaces the PG challenge. So where I had PG, Swear Jar was, it's basically the same thing. Just so you understand that that's what that one means. All right. So I'm not allowed to swear for the 30-minute duration. If I do, then I will fail the challenge and I have a punishment to answer to. So make sure I keep myself accountable, because I feel like there's a lot of times where I get the PG challenge, or in this case, the Swear Jar, because now that's what it's called. And like 30 minutes is a very long time. It's a very long time, and it's, especially when you're doing something that is a form of entertainment, you can sometimes feel like 30 minutes flies by, and it doesn't actually feel like 30 minutes. But I just want to make sure that I am being smart about this, because we're in the late game now. We are in the late game now, and it's very, very important for us to make sure we're making the best possible choices that we can, smartest possible choices that we can. Otherwise, we might find ourselves in some trouble. We did get an additional life in the master mode, though, which I don't think we've whited out in this, which is insane when I'm looking back at it. I mean, maybe I have. It's very possible. I've had a lot of different series going on, so it's really hard to remember all of them and what I've done. But I'm fairly sure that we haven't whited out in this series, which is good. It's very good. Because in your traditional nuzlocks, if you white out, then it's like, that's the game over. But in master modes, because master modes can be challenging, I do the 3 life system because that just seems the most fair. It just seems the most fair. Alright, down goes Victory Bell. How much experience are we getting for this? 6k? Alright, sweet. Alright, Togekiss. Now, you could be sending this thing in because it has Flamethrower, or you could just be sending this thing in because I was using Bug-type moves. I really don't want to risk the Jester this early, so I think we're just going to go Primal. I just think that's the smarter thing to do. I don't know with grinding in the Shopping Mall 9 or Route 9 area if we will get a lot of levels or anything like that, but the reason why I at least feel confident with adding the 2 mons right now and trying to get them kind of caught up is because we're very, very over leveled. It feels like to me. I mean, even fighting Banga at the end of the previous episode, he was 62, was his highest, and you take away the Escavalier and the Stoutland, and our lowest is 66. Which I guess we shouldn't sit there and complain about. Like, that's a good thing for us, but we've been also rocking a team of 4 for a little while now. Pretty much ever since we got to Reversal Mountain, or out of Reversal Mountain, we've been rocking not a full team. And I want to make sure that we are rocking a full team for this. Alright, so Smart Strike should knock this thing out. There's no way that a Mr. Mime takes Stab, super effective physical move. Yeah, that's what I thought. That is what I thought. I honestly don't know if we will make it out to Open Lucid City in today's episode. I think about it. Because Drayano does this, where he gives the trainers a lot. She saw me from so far away. That's insane. I could understand if she was at the line, the boundary line right there, and she saw me and wanted to fight, but she was like in the middle of the court and saw me. That's something else. Stuns for? Alright, that's just annoying. But I'm already slow as it is, so I'm not particularly bothered by this. As long as I'm still knocking things out, I really don't care. But see how like things are living now? That's mainly because we're under leveled, but you see how like twin needle things are living twin needles? That's what I'm trying to make sure I avoid. Why I avoid being under leveled or as under leveled. Because I would say our team is pretty solid. And I noticed just now actually, our team is literally all Generation 5 except for the Kyogre. It's kind of funny. But that just shows how many good mons there are in Generation 5. So many good ones. Azumarill. I want to swap to Escavalier, but I'm not trying to get popped by this thing, because this thing more than likely has huge power, and I have the Drizzle set up, so just not worth the risk. I need to play a lot smarter. Like I said, and because it's late game, I gotta play a lot smarter. Because there's gonna be things that I don't expect and I have to adapt on the fly, but I want to make sure that the things that I do expect, or the things that I know are gonna be challenging, like the boss battles or gym leader battles, like I am prepped and prepared for and know exactly what it is I'm doing. Because that's the worst thing, or that was the problem at least with once we turned on the challenge mode and went and fought Skyla, was the fact that I wasn't anticipating a triple battle, and because of that I lost 5 out of the 6 mons on my team. I mean, we made it out alive, yes, but I wasn't expecting it because we hadn't had any difficulties with the gym battles up to that point. Now, large part of that was because we didn't turn on the challenge mode until after we beat Elisa. So, that is to be expected. I'm trying to remember if there's any hidden grottos here in the Village Bridge. I don't know. And speaking of something, I just thought of something else. There's a waterfall section in Route 10? No, it would be Route 11. Route 10 doesn't exist in this game, technically, right? I don't know. Alright, Smeargle. I don't know if I should be afraid of this thing or not. Well, if he's sashed, he dies. Even if... Yeah, he doesn't have a white herb. Okay, he dies. Lower defenses. Yeah, you're not taking this. I also need to remember I'm not choice banded. That's another reason why things are living the Twin Needles as well as they are. Because I threw a choice band on it because I never felt the need to not have a choice band on. And I may even still use that strategy with Escavalier if it's around for the Elite Four, because it's a good strat. I mean, like I said, it's got a lot of attack. As long as I'm not in a situation like this where I'm fighting a fire type, or if I'm in a situation where I am fighting a fire type where I have Kyogre still on the team and I set up the rain, like, as long as I have those, like, circumstances, I really will be okay. Really not that many problems that could happen. Alright, Simisage, you shouldn't be able to do anything to my Escavalier. I just find it hilarious that I was like, alright, I'm gonna make sure I note all this stuff down on this sticky note and like put it in, Pikahex it in. And the one thing I forgot was probably the most powerful Pokemon that I could have added. And actually, now I wanted to bring that up, because we did get the encounters, we did randomize the encounters at the end of the previous video. We got the Chandelure for the Cobalion, the static Cobalion that was level 80. There was a small part of me that was like, I should add it because it's a level 80. But then I kind of sat down and I thought about, like, well, I already got both the typings. And what if there's a situation that arises, like, I need to kind of have it as backup. Like, if something happens to my Reshiram, 100% that Chandelure is going to be the thing that gets added. Because Cofagrigus, it doesn't necessarily, we don't necessarily need to add it if anything happens to King Tut, which I don't want to jinx myself. I don't think anything's happening to King Tut. Nothing in game. Anyways, I think it's gonna be the Master Mode that will take King Tut from me, not Blaziwag 2. That's what I think. That's personally how I feel about it. And that's kind of why I'm saying, like, I really need to play smart, because we saw how good King Tut was when we needed him to clutch up. And I feel like he gets a lot of the credit, which rightfully deserved. But the Conkeldurr as well. He survived that bloodbath that was Reversal Mountain. He's still alive and kicking. Ooh, a rare candy. Okay. So I should give that to either the Stoutland or the Escavalier. I think we go Stoutland for that. Because we haven't used the Stoutland at all. It would be the most benefit anyways. Get you up to 56. Trying to learn Double Edge. No, I'm okay with you keeping Strength right now. Oh, I just gave him another one. Sorry. That doesn't usually happen. That error doesn't usually happen. Sorry. I'm sure that's probably not even that big of a deal. I'm sure you guys hopefully don't find it to be that big of a deal. Now, if I gave it to, like, one of my other OP boys, yeah, that'd be a little bit more problematic. Alright, I need a... Yes, exactly what I was about to say. I need a water bubble to pop up. Because that's how I'm going to get my encounter on this round. Is by doing that. Because I really don't want to not have a repel up. Alright, masculine. Can I Razor Shell this thing and not kill it? I think the answer to that question is yes. But I'm also not sure. Because I think a Smart Strike would kill because it's stab. But then again, I don't know. I don't know everything. For real? Oh my god. So does that do the amount of damage of the his max HP, or the amount of HP that he has? Because if it's the amount of HP he has, that's not going to do anything to me. Okay, it's just the amount of HP that he had left. Alright. I hate when that happens, though, right there. Because it's like... Of course, that's the one move that you're going to go for. There's a static LAPRAS encounter? Nah. Wait. I might want to add... Let me not get too far ahead of myself, but I might want to add that. And it won't be... I don't want it to be a diss to the dog. I like the dog. Man, he's right up on me. I don't want it to be a diss to the dog, because I love Stoutland. Stoutland's actually, he's got a soft spot in my heart, for personal reasons, which I won't necessarily go into right now. I think I've actually probably already told the story about Stoutland and how he was very similar to the dog that I had growing up. So that's why I'm not talking about it, because now is not the time or the place. That's solid. But if this is a static LAPRAS encounter, I might just catch it and keep it, because LAPRAS is good. And we're coming up to a Dragon Gym. I need to see what level this thing is. $50? That's fine. That's fine. How much? Future Sight? How much does a Smart Strike do? That's a Smart Strike. I'm gonna Razor Shell this thing. This is a risk. It's got T-Gans. That's crazy. Yep, I kinda had a feeling. Okay, Smart Strike did that much. I need to be careful though, because of the Future Sight. I don't remember if in this game it takes type effectiveness into account, or if that's Generation 6 onward. I really hope that it starts in this game. Oh, I thought I critted it. I was about to be so upset. I thought I critted it. Okay, it does take type effectiveness. Sweet! Alright, this is the... To be honest, this is the best possible situation we can find ourselves in trying to catch this thing. Could you imagine if I didn't come over here? Could you imagine if I never came over this way? Because I initially wanted to go for just the item there. But yeah, I honestly think... Again, this is such a tough call because, like, LAPRAS is good. Water Absorb, solid ability for it. Has D-Dance, which is interesting. Will I run it physical? Probably not. Probably not. I don't think so, but I've put Benji on the squad for the Intimidate purpose. And I still think he serves that purpose rather well. But having another Mon that could actually take on the gym, that was super effectiveness. But the thing is that Drayano is not dumb. And I could definitely keep this like the same reason why what I'm doing with the Chandelure. And that I am making sure that it's like a good backup Mon. Because Lapras would be a great Mon to have as a backup Mon throw on the team. Now with the Kyogre, it's gonna share the same weaknesses, which I'm not particularly bothered by them sharing the same weaknesses. I just want to make sure that my typings are diverse, and as long as I have my typings diverse, we should be able to handle a lot of things relatively well. Because that's one of the main problems, especially doing the randomizer, especially the way I do it, is that when we had like our God Squad, the God Squad being pretty much before we fought Clay, we did have a duplication of, what was it, Dragon types? And Water type. And I was saying how that, like, Palkia and Samurott didn't share the same weaknesses because of the water typing, but they did share a fairy type weakness, which fairies were added into this game. If this was regular Black 2, White 2, then the Samurott wouldn't have been a fighting type, and fairy typing wouldn't have been added. So they still wouldn't have shared the same weaknesses. It would have been the typical electric and grass for a pure water type, and then dragon for a dragon and water type. So just kind of like looking at things like that. And there's also the fact that some typings are a lot more common than others, so like having a common water weakness would be scary. I don't know if there's any common weaknesses or like Pokemon that share a weakness together on our team. If not, that's honestly amazing. I don't necessarily, I would prefer to have a grass type, but I kind of sat there and I was like, do I really want to use another jailbreak on Meganium? As much as I would like to, because I really like Meganium, I was like, I think we should just move on. And there are other grass types in our box, to be fair, that I could have added instead, but I was like, Because I'm also about using things that I don't typically use. Yes, I've used Kyogre in multiple series. Reshiram I have used in a couple series. Conkeldurr, I don't think we've used. Maybe we have. I know Cofagrigus we've, like, not. And I'm absolutely okay with that, because I think he's slept on. Sometimes. I think that Mon is slept on sometimes, and you need to see how good he is. And you're seeing how good he is. Just because he's not hyper offense doesn't mean he ain't good. Alright, Beedrill. We should wall a Beedrill, right? We're Steel type. Bug and Poison. I think we wall a Beedrill. Unless, for whatever reason, he gets a Fire type move. We would have been this close to failing the challenge. Why does he learn Raging Fury? Like, does the wordplay with what the Pokemon is, does that make sense? Absolutely. If you've ever swung at a bee before, you make them mad, they will try and sting you. That makes sense, right? But also, Raging Fury is a fire type move. Why? And what's even crazier is that I called it as it happened. And I'm honestly surprised we lived on 3 because I wasn't at full health. That's what I think I'm more surprised about, is that we actually took the hit because I wasn't at full health. Oh, that would have really bothered me. That would have really bothered me if I killed. Like, I really can't sugarcoat it more than that. Cut him off. I don't even know if I want to get into another battle before this video is done. Because I think the only other people that you can really battle here in the Village Bridge are the guy who's on the huge winning streak and then the people on the basketball court. And I think the people on the basketball court have triple battles. So I might want to save that for next video, really. Thank God. I'm just so happy that Scavalier lived. I was going to be so upset if he died. Or she died, sorry. Because literally, a quad weakness is going to be the thing that kills it. I know initially when it died, it didn't die from something that had a quad, used a quad effective move, but whatever. Alright, I'm pretty sure we did not swear today, so we kept things PG, which means we get ourselves a nice, scrumptious reward. Let me just go to my reward wheel, and we will go ahead and spin and hopefully give me something decent. Give me something decent. I feel like that's just the same as what we got before. Like just in terms of rewards, it just feels like the same old. I can say this now. Same old shit. Can't catch me lacking. All right, I'm gonna make sure that I write this stuff down. If you guys enjoyed today's video, make sure you hit the like button down below because we greatly appreciate it. Subscribe if you want to see more Mastermode stuff from ya boy. Make sure you follow the links in the description. We got TikTok, X, and a community Discord. If you want to go ahead and check those out, you are more than welcome to. We will see you guys next time. Hopefully we get to Opelucid City in this next video because I really want to get to Opelucid City and then take on the gym because this recording session has been going on for a very long time. See you guys then. Peace out.